Hey, this is Trader Travis here with a short video about being scammed, right? If you've ever been scammed and you're a little bit hesitant about rolling in any of my programs, or forget my programs, any program in particular. And this is based on an email I just received from the Help Angel. I'm going to update my earlier video because I've been scammed more than most, probably scammed out of more than 100 grand. So I know what works and what doesn't work, right? And over time, well, at least for me, well, forget that. I'm going off on the rails again. So I'll link to my older scam video in the description because it's a lot more detailed. I'm just updating it because I hate the way I sound in older videos, but there's a lot of good nuggets of information in that video. So I do link to it and I don't take it from the web because of that. There's a lot of valuable information. So today's video will just be an abbreviated version of that, just pulling out maybe 3 of the highlights in that video to specifically address this email I just received. And so let me go ahead and read this email to you. So he said, I'm interested in your program. However, I've had some very bad experiences with people offering courses that are not what they claim. This translates into a lot of burned cash. I don't consider myself to be naive. I am, however, a trusting individual, which is my downfall. $2,700 for your course is about half of what my trading account would be, so I'm not even sure how to proceed. I know you get a lot of mail from tire kickers, and I guess I would fall into that category. However, I need to find a way to make a living since the viral epidemic has destroyed my business. I'm not looking for any sympathy, just a way to pay half my other half's medical bills and our monthly expenses. I will not be able to do that if this turns out to be another scam. I just want to start out small and simple, calendars, verticals, etc. I assume that you offer this kind of training. What kind of guarantee do you offer? Although I should not ask this, as the other scammers offered a refund, but that never happened. Do I sound skeptical? I'm always looking for people that will treat me the way I treat them. Where do we go from here? Well, this pulled on my heartstrings is a very fair email. I'll actually break down this email here towards the end. But first, I want to deliver on my promise of a few practical tips. Again, I've been scammed more than most. Here are the top 3 things, the takeaways I learned that can probably help this person as well as you if you've ever been in a situation like this, because a lot of us have, including I. So tip number 1 is all those scam experiences actually make you a more informed consumer if you learn from them. Like, I know how to do better research up front now, right? When I want to join somebody's program, I stalk them online for a while, right? You know, maybe a good year or less. It depends on how much free content they have. The more free content they have, the better, because it allows me to test out their free content. Like, if they teach a free strategy, I'll try it. If it works great, then I may move forward. But if it doesn't work, then I'm like, yeah, if their free stuff doesn't work, why would I join their paid course, right? And things like that. And so just stalk them for a while, you know, do better research as far as looking up, you know, reviews and see if anybody has anything bad to say about them, things like that. So that's easy, right? The more impactful one that equals actual regained dollars is, guess what? Visa and MasterCard has awesome fraud protection that I'm still baffled after all these years that people don't know about, right? If you're ever scammed in the course you buy and the person doesn't honor their refund or doesn't deliver on something, you can dispute that purchase. And while you're disputing it, Visa and MasterCard puts the money back onto your card. I've had to do this a few times. I don't do it as much anymore. I only do it when it's just an outright evil, right? Generally, I just consider it loss, and I get to my last tip, and I'll show you why I don't do this a lot. But anyway, the times I have done it, I followed dispute with Visa and MasterCard. They put the money immediately back on my card. So if you were scammed, they put the money back on your card. They contact the merchant, and that merchant then has to defend that charge. They have to show that they honored their agreement or they actually refunded you, et cetera, et cetera. And generally, you know, the scammers won't take the time to respond to Visa and MasterCard, so you'll get your money back. So PayPal also, I heard, has a buyer protection, although I've never used it. I've only used Visa's and MasterCard's protection. And I forgot, it's protection up to a pretty high limit too, like in the thousands of dollars. So yeah, if they didn't honor your refund, and I don't know the time limit on when you can dispute a transaction, but look into that if you've recently been scammed by someone. So that was tip number 2. Tip number 1 is to do better research, right? That's the most obvious one. Oh, do better research and trust your gut. I didn't say that. Your gut usually is always right. Every time I've been scammed, I had a weird feeling in my stomach, right? It's like, and I just ignored it, right? My greed got in the way. So that was tip number 1. Do more research, trust your gut. Tip number 2, Visa, MasterCard, use your dispute process to get your money back. The third way to get your money back is not, you get your money back, but not in the same way. This is not tax advice, but it's something my mentor taught me. He was like, follow it off on your tax returns, whether it's a fraud case of being scammed or a legitimate course. He was showing me how I can actually deduct my product purchases off my taxes. So if I paid $2,000 for a course, it turned out to be a scam. Now I don't bother doing a dispute unless the person is just downright evil, right? Usually I just like, whatever. I try to find something I can learn from it. And then 2, I just write off my taxes. So it's not a big deal. I get the money back just another way. And so that's why I don't really do the disputes anymore. It's like, whatever. I'll just write off my taxes, consider it a lesson learned, and move on, right? I know now what not to do. So that's it as far as the tips on being scammed. And what I wanted to do, so it looks like looking at the time, this video won't be as short as I wanted it to be, but at least I delivered on those 3 things that I think a lot of people can hear about, especially the dispute process, because a lot of people do not know that you could dispute transactions like that. But I want to analyze this person's email from the point of a successful trader, right? I'm not the end-all be-all guru of all knowing, and my opinion is not like superior to anybody else's, but on the path to success, I've learned a few things, and one of the biggest things is successful people literally just think differently than everyone else. They encounter the same situations, they just think differently. So what I want to do is break down the points in this email, and hopefully this person watches this and they can take away a different way of viewing their situation, right? So I'll start here. This person said, however, I'm a trusting individual, which is my downfall. That I have a problem with. That's not a downfall to me. That's actually a positive. And what ticks me off about that statement is that the world has you jaded, right? That's why people. Anyway, the point is, the world has people jaded, thinking that being nice is something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you if you're nice. There's something wrong with your trusting individual. No, that's how you should be. That's your default, right? But the world's like, oh yeah, you're trusting, that's a downfall. No, it's not a downfall, right? That means you're not jaded and all skeptical and all damaged like everyone else. It's the skeptical people that need counseling, right? Something's wrong with them. They are the ones that need counseling. And I know, because I've been there, right? I needed to work through all that stuff. And that's what being scammed does to you. It burns you. What do I have in my notes here? It scars you. It takes a while to get over that. And so you have to work through all that. And so unless you can take time to heal from that and approach things with an open heart and attitude, it doesn't matter if you have a great system or not, right? Because your thinking and your emotions are always going to be clouded by the past. It's just a form of not getting over the past. So why now I don't think about my old past experiences anymore. I've moved on. Next part here about the cost of the course. Yeah, we always recommend, well, first, we never advise anybody to put themselves in a dire financial situation. That's just not smart. If the course is too expensive, it's just not the right purchase for you right now. Period. End of story. Don't put yourself in a negative financial situation just to enroll in a course. And I know I'm being hypocritical because I max out my credit card, sold all my house, my furniture, my car and stuff like that when I started, but I was desperate and stupid and broke. I was just reaching for anything, right? I got lucky. I don't advise anybody to take the same path I took. But find a lower, Market Club Options is a few $100s. That's a lower price course we have. But what I always tell people is, this goes to another point here further on, is this particular person, no, I wouldn't try Market Club Options because of the situation they're in. What we usually tell people is save up more money. Simple as that. Use it as a goal. Hey, this is a goal. I want to join this course. I'm going to continue to save up money. And what you'll do is develop discipline and patience, which are 2 things you will need anyway when you enroll in the course, because you need those to succeed as a trader. So you can't sidestep that. You need those. So I'm like, well, just develop those before you enroll in the course. So then when you actually do enroll in the course, you can take better advantage of it because you now have that skill set that other people don't. All right, moving on here. I get a lot of email from tire kickers. Yes, I do. And it's always annoying. Sometimes, well, I won't say always annoying. Sometimes it's funny, but generally it's annoying. I don't think this person is a tire kicker. This person has just been scammed a lot. So they're just being more cautious, which it's understandable, right? Understandable, totally understandable, which is why I'm taking time out my day to record this video for someone like this, because I can relate. All right, this right here, though, don't take this offensively. The viral epidemic did not destroy your business, right? Again, this is how successful people view things differently. All right. So some businesses, think of a business that's succeeding right now, right? Is there a business succeeding right now in the current pandemic environment? If the answer to that is yes, then it's not the virus that's an issue. It was the way your business was structured. Maybe you're in a business that can be affected by a virus. Maybe your business didn't have multiple streams of income. Maybe your business didn't have 6 to 12 months of savings. Because any business that's affected by the virus and shut down right now, if they were a business that had 6 to 12 months of saving, they're not freaking out as many other people. Their business is not destroyed. Their profits are just postponed a bit, but they can survive through hard times. You manage a business how you should manage your personal life, 6 to 12 months savings and things like that. Well, you know, anything can happen though, right? People can get sick, which is the next part. This person said they're trying to pay medical bills. Man, medical bills will destroy any great plan. Like you could have the 6 to 12 months, a bunch of money saved up, and you get hit with a crazy medical bill. Like a person I heard, I don't know if this is true, I didn't verify it, but I heard this lady had like a 200 grand medical bill from getting sick from COVID-19. And the insurance company didn't pay it because they're like, it's an act of God. Well, that potentially could bankrupt her, right? So medical bills like can ruin any really good solid plan. But I do want you to think back that I don't blame a virus, right? Just look at it and say, no, my business was structured in such a way that it was vulnerable to situations like this, right? I don't want you to blame a virus. Always take personal responsibility. Don't be a victim. That's the takeaway there. And so that leads to my final takeaway here is that, you know, when a person's business is destroyed, they're trying to pay bills, medical bills, things like that. Pretty much they're trying to get trading to pay for their current lifestyle. And that is a very high pressure situation. And in a situation like that, I've coached thousands of traders. I've never seen anybody succeed in a situation like that. Never. Not saying it's not possible. I just haven't seen it. And it's kind of messed up, but when you start trading, you need to start from a place where you don't really need the money, because you do need to build up their account. You need time to build up the skill set. The skill set cannot be built overnight. You can make money overnight, but you cannot build a skill set overnight. It will take 1 to maybe 3 years. I don't know. Everybody's different. I was on the slower track, right? I was on the short bus. It took me about 3 years to finally get consistent success. So imagine if I was trying to pay my bills, which I was. Imagine if I was trying to pay my bills off of trading, right? And it took me 3 years, right? I wouldn't survive. And so it's just going to take time. You cannot rush the process. That's what a lot of people think. And that's why when people are like, I got fired, you know, can I join out? I need to learn how to trade full time. I'm like, nope, you need to find another job, you know, survive, get your savings built back up, get in a better financial situation, then pursue trading, right? Trading is exotic. It's not the basics. Let's get the basics down. Make sure you have adequate food, housing, clothing, all that, you know, the big things, the savings account, stable job bringing stable income. Get that straight, then pursue trading. That's my advice, right? Of course, you'll find anybody trying to sell your course and say otherwise. Oh, you make all this money? No, 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 no. The people, the richest individuals in the world did not get rich trying to get rich quick and avoiding the common sense, basic personal finance principles, right? Just think about it, right? If all these scammers and these guys selling all these promises, if they were so great, why aren't they on the cover of Forbes magazine? Why didn't they win a U.S. investing championship like me? Just had to throw that in there. No, totally joking. But anyway, yeah, why aren't they on the cover of Forbes magazine, right? So, you know, it's just, trust your gut, right? Common sense stuff. It takes a long time to build wealth. By the time I'm on the cover of magazines, I probably would have been doing this 30 years plus, right? You know, millionaire, things like that. So by the time you discover all these people, you know, you missed all the sacrifice and struggle they went through, all the hardcore, basic common sense financial principles they implemented. All right, it wasn't anything quick. It's just a slow and steady process. So that's it. This video is too long. I'm going to call it wraps. You take care, and I'll see you in the next training. Bye-bye.